Let me just fix it. Fucking chair. Ow! Hurt myself in a matter of fucking 5 seconds of streaming. How the fuck does that work? Anyways, what a good fucking way to start a stream, is it not? Anyways, I'm here with chapter 4 of episode 1 of the hotel I worked in was haunted. Was haunted? Was haunted. Correcting myself. And before I get started, this is my second take at this. I literally had to redo it because of so much fucked up shit that is talked about in this. So if you guys are easily disturbed, to me personally, it's fucked. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's not fucked up and that it's good. By any means, it's not good. No fucking way is it good. But the story's good. But in the sense of, if you like kind of weird, fucked up, no, that sounds fucked. Makes it sound like a fucking psychopath. If you guys like scary shit, you know what I mean? If you don't want to sleep for the rest of the fucking year, listen to this one fucking episode and that's it. Like, seriously. So, I'm gonna mention that. That's like a big disclaimer. If you guys are easily mind-fuckulatable, please do not watch this. Or I really highly doubt you guys are going to stare at my face for fucking 30 minutes, but go straight ahead. Feel free for that. You know, if you want to mute this and stare at me. I don't know how the fuck you guys can stare at myself. I don't know how that works. I've not calculated how many fucking gallons of milk you need to drink to stare at myself, for you to stare at myself in the sense of whatever. Anyways, just, throwing that out there. It is very fucked up sounding, very disturbing to some people. For me, it's disturbing, and that really should say a lot, because I don't get grossed out very fucking easily, but this, and I get enraged by kind of shit like this. So if you guys get easily enraged, and this has the potential to make you fuck shit up, please do not listen. I'm literally being serious, like, super serious right now. And so let's just get started. So people want to know what happened on the 3rd floor before the renovations were finished, besides my first story. So here I'll just briefly outline the occurrences. Firstly, I took the stairs one day, and since nothing had happened in recent memory, I decided to see the progress on the renovations. I noticed they finished painting the walls and hung new light fixtures, though no bulbs were in yet, so I didn't venture down the hallway, saving a few steps. When I turned around, the ladder that had been to my left was now stood up directly in front of the door. I moved it to the side and immediately went back downstairs. Secondly, I remember one evening I was waiting to be done after a day shift, and I had personally said goodbye to the construction crew for the day. When I was getting my things together, I heard the unmistakable sound of tools. One can hear the construction noises, faintly from the lobby and nearby floors during the day when the crew was working. You can see the main hallway of the 3rd floor, rooms 301 to 317, from the lobby. And one night when I was there, I happened to gaze upwards. I saw that every door was open, no lights were on in any of the rooms, so a looming darkness presented itself. I blinked, and each of the doors, going from right to left like dominoes, as you guessed, slammed shut. I don't know if this happened with every door on the 3rd floor or just the ones within my sight line, but it was pretty unnerving either way. I would receive calls from different rooms on the 3rd floor, never 323 again, and all I would hear upon answering was static. It got to the point where I stopped answering. So there I was, with more time on my hands than I had in quite some time, as I took what I believe to be a well-deserved week-long break from the Whitmore Hotel. I filled my time by catching up on sleep, binge watching The Wire, aka the greatest television drama ever created. And most importantly, doing some deep research on the Whitmore Hotel. I did some basic Google searches and didn't really find anything noteworthy. I pretty much got lists of celebrities or other important people who have lodged there in the past and a basic history of the hotel. Whitmore Hotel was built from 1930 to 1931, during the development of the entire area in which it's located. The owners were actually a group of men, each of whom funded different aspects of the project, and was named after one of their associates who passed during the planning phase. I did individual research on each of these men, and nothing really jumped out at me. They just seemed like normal, opportunistic businessmen. When it opened, it was bigger and better than any other hotel in the Midwest. It featured 9 floors, an elaborate bar off the floor lobby, an elaborate bar off of the lobby, over which hung a lavish chandelier. Certain changes have been made since, including multiple weight rooms and a very, very large pool area. Sorry, guys. Scrolled up and I flooped myself up. In addition to the added amenities, the rooms have also been remodeled more than once. Over the past decade or so, the hotel's business has slowly dwindled. I love that word, by the way. Nobody cares that I'm saying that, but whatever. With chain hotels such as the Holiday Inn Express, La Quinta, and Days Inn, among others, sprouting up new franchise locations. Most of the guests now come for the fact that when they leave, they get to say they spent the night in a historic hotel, somewhere multiple presidents have stayed during their time in office. I have personally stayed a few nights. And I might add, I never had anything strange happen to me when I did. After reading all this, I was pretty underwhelmed, as I'm sure you are. So thank you for bearing with me. I stopped to watch more TV, but something was bothering me. When I went back to research the names of the gentlemen who funded the hotel, and found one common theme. They all got their start with a now defunct, as of 1996, investment company called the Kennedy, I'm going to say Colgate because I have no fucking clue how to pronounce this, Colgate. Now we were getting somewhere. I looked up the Kennedy Colgate and found a basic history, which I won't bore you with, besides the fact that it was located on the West Coast. What was interesting about the Kennedy Colgate was the fact that in its last years of functioning, it was ran by the original owner's grandson, Mario Kennedy. Researching Mario Kennedy gave me a lot of insight on what I was dealing with now. Much of what I had read were second and third hand accounts of rumors, so I didn't know if what I was reading was true or not. However, if what I did read was true, it would certainly give credence to what was going on around me. Mario Kennedy was a playboy of sorts. He had all the money in the world and nothing responsible to do with it. Sounds like a lot of people I know. He funded several businesses, most of which failed. He spent his money on drugs, nice. Women, nice. Alcohol, nice. Cars, super nice. Properties, which he would let go to ruin. Then one day, he met Marion. Supposedly, the day he met Marion was the day he stopped indulging in his numerous vices. He gave everything up cold turkey. They married the same day they met, and Mario and Marion, boy does that sound weird, spent the next few weeks in the tropics, without telling anyone where they went. When they got back, everything of the business was a mess. Mario did the most selfish thing he could and liquidated the company, leaving his entire staff to fend for themselves. He and Marion now had nothing to get in the way of their relationship. This gets really interesting when I read that Marion was a part of what you could call a cult, called the Congregation of His Infernal Divinity. It was a religion that didn't necessarily worship Satan so much as it did demons. May I say demons of all kinds. This quote-unquote church was supposedly home to some of the younger elite in the state of California, and one aspect of their modus operandi was the kidnapping and sacrificing of children. Dandy. Without going into too much detail, I will say that the accounts I read were revolting. Again, I'm taking it all with a grain of salt, but let me continue. Marion brought Mario into the group of sick human beings, and he apparently fit right in. They had a ritualistic induction ceremony in which he stalked a 9-year-old boy, abducted him from his home in the middle of the night, and slaughtered him at one of the cult's temples, if that's what you want to call that. Allegedly, Mario rose up the ranks of CHID, with his wife riding his coattails. I was going to say cocktails by accident, sorry guys. However, his previously flamboyant and eccentric lifestyle seeped back through the barriers that he had put up, and he got sloppy. Word got out that the congregation of his infernal divinity, and they were eventually shut down. Members were arrested and tried, most of whom received a death penalty. Now, at the end of this, I'm going to talk to you guys about the death penalty and my opinion on that, but all except 2 members, Mario and Marion Kennedy. In a cross-country manhunt, they were finally cornered in the state that I'm in. By the way, that's something in the story, not something... I don't live in the States, by the way. And none other than the Whitmore Hotel. They supposedly kidnapped the child from another family staying in the hotel, murdered him in their room, covered the room and themselves in the child's blood, and each other committed suicide. The year was 1996. It didn't say which room this allegedly happened in, but I don't think it'd be too hard to guess. Despite all this rich Kennedy history, there has never been one single complaint or allegation that the Whitmore Hotel is or ever was haunted. Like I said, the initial search I did on the place when I started working there gave me nothing. There were no ghost stories, no special sightings, nothing. And as someone asked in the comments, no other employees were reporting anything strange happening. At this point, I thought I was going crazy. But at the same time, the things I'd been experiencing had been done so real, so convincing. And on top of that, I've always been a sound of mental health. I have no history of schizophrenia or delusions of any kind. I felt as if this was happening to me specifically and for a reason. When I went back to the hotel the following week, I decided I was going to go through it. I was going to go tough it out. And figured out just what the fuck was happening and why it was happening to me. My next experience with room 323 gave me some answers. And looking back, I honestly wish I never would have found them. This is getting so good. But before that happened, I went back to the Whitmore for my first shift back from vacation. It was a day shift on a Thursday, where I was to be the lifeguard for the indoor pool area. The girl who was to be the other lifeguard called in sick, and the only other person who I actually scrolled down. And the only person who had undergone lifeguard training started his vacation day. Started his vacation the day I got back from mine. We were severely understaffed. So I sat in my perch and basically just hung out for the first 5 hours. Around 1 p.m., I suddenly got very tired out of nowhere. I'd gotten so much sleep the week prior that staying up for a day shift should have been nothing. But fatigue hit me like a slap in the face. My eyelids felt almost as heavy as my head, which was lowering by the second. I suddenly got jolted awake, like when you fall asleep in class and pop up, then look around to make sure no one saw. And what I saw was burned into my brain. Every guest in the pool area was floating face down in the pool, moving ever so slowly by some unknown current. I observed everybody was perfectly still. No flailing, no struggling to swim. And on top of that, some of the bodies looked bloated, as if they'd been there for a while. I climbed down from my perch, completely taken back at what I was witnessing. Had all these people drowned once they fell asleep? That made absolutely no sense. I know I wasn't in a deep sleep. Certainly not deep enough sleep for close to 20 people to die without me fucking noticing. It wasn't until I took a few steps along the side of the pool that I noticed that same deafening silence and the vanishing episode from chapter 2. As soon as I noticed, I became disoriented. I stumbled a bit, but caught myself before I tumbled into the pool. It was then that I noticed something. A woman wearing all black was crouched in the far corner, diagonally across the pool from me, laughing hysterically, yet very quietly, just quiet enough to break the uncomfortable silence. I attempted to yell over to her, but I could not hear my own voice. Her stifled, terrifying laughter was the only sound that existed in my current abhorrent consciousness. I felt a tap on my shoulder, spun around, and I was standing about an inch away from a man. I only saw him for a brief moment, but I saw that he was wearing all black. And he was definitely the same man I'd seen first, standing in the corner of the room in the picture of room 325. And then standing in front of me at the front desk before I blacked out from the events of chapter 3. I unequivocally knew it was him from the impossible wide, bright-teethed grin that covered his lower face. It started to startle me to the core, and I instinctively stepped back, falling into the watery grave that was now the Whitmore pool. I struggled to get to the surface, but it was as if the bodies had all drifted towards me the moment I hit the water, trapping me underneath them. I failed aimlessly under the water, the light closing in on me as I felt my last breaths escaping my lungs. It was then I snapped back awake. I looked around, now wide awake, and everyone was as they were the moment my eyes fell, all but forced themselves shut. Children were playing in the shallow end. Adults were horse playing in the deep end below my feet. I looked up to the far corner where the man had been laughing. There was no one there. I would have chalked this instance up to a terrifying dream if it weren't for the fact that I was inexplicably soaking wet from head to toe. Until next time, Nick. So this guys, I have to say, is getting absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. That is the end of the read, by the way. Thank you so much for listening. Rate, subscribe, and comment. If you guys would like to see more of this, and you guys would like to hear me read more like this instead of fumbling like a motherfucker, like every 5 seconds, I'll definitely try to do it more like I find I'll definitely get a lot more people to watching it for a longer period of time. And yeah, somebody had asked me if I'm going to link these stories. As of right now, no. Simply because then you'd be able to find the next chapters and read ahead, and it would defeat the purpose of me posting. But once I finish a story, even if it's in chapters, I will then post at the end of the story the link for you guys to read over yourselves if you guys would wish. Read the comments, whatever. If there's any pictures you guys would like me to include, that are included, I will definitely include them if you guys would like. As of right now, I'm not noticing any pictures. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. This has been an absolutely incredible read for what is chapter 4. And until chapter 5, guys, I do not remember for the life of me what I said in chapter 1, but stay creepy and have a good night. Or will you?